Hey everybody, this is Perch, and no live stream, which is a shame. Sorry, but up teaching my kids how to ski, and that's an important thing a dad has to do. Um, anyway, I didn't want to leave you without knowing what's coming out next week, because next week actually features a pretty insane amount of comics. There is 114 new comics next week, and I'm talking floppies. There's also another about 30 OGNs, some manga getting ported over. It's a huge week, actually. 114 books. To give you some context, that's 36 more than last week. And there's 31 publishers in total putting books out. Many of them just a couple, but still pretty crazy. Marvel is got the most new books out. They're putting out 16 floppies in 1 week, which is a lot. I mean, um, the funny thing is, if you look at the pricing of this stuff, Marvel's basically putting out about $80 if you're to buy everything. You'd be in the realm of about $80 just to kind of buy Marvel. And when you think about that a week, I mean, it's just that's just a lot. IDW, meanwhile, is putting out 14 books, Image 13, and DC is 11. Now, IDW is a little bit of a weird case because they're just dumping a lot of stuff by the look of things, which we'll get into. And Image has got a bunch, but DC kind of continues to hover around that 11 mark. That tends to be where they're going to be at about 10 books to 15 books a week, which is still a lot when you think about it. I mean, remember all the videos and the news items and everything else, basically saying, DC is stopping comics. They're shuttering their comics and everything else. But then if you add it up, if you think about 5 weeks in a year, or 5 weeks in a month, sorry. I've been skiing. I'm tired. Altitude, that's 50 books. Now, I know during the New 52, they're publishing 52 books, but think about one publisher publishing 50 books or even 40 books. That's a lot of comics. 40 books in 1 month, 50 books in 1 month is a lot. There's a grand total of 29 number one issues next week, so almost 30 number one issues. And granted, a lot of them are limited miniseries, but hey, what isn't these days? But again, yikes, this is a lot of comics. Let's go through really quickly what you're in for. And it has to break out. If you've been to the Friday streams, you've seen this live. So by the way, if you've never been to a Friday stream, 4:30 Pacific time, it's a good time. Usually I'm on with a guest that's way better than me. And we talk over all things comics, just a fun time. It's like hanging out at your local comic shop. This is one of the things you'd see if you came on Fridays. The comics for next week, we talked through them a little bit, but we're on to 7 pages. Like a couple weeks ago, we had dialed it back to 5, but now we're on to 7, which is absurd. At any rate, we have a couple things here. AWA has got Man's World. That has been a pretty good series. I mean, it's one of their quieter titles, but it's pretty solid. Antarctic continues to kind of chug along, has a few things there. Aftershock, Girls of Dimension 13, there's a creative team, really wants you to go check that out. And then American Mythology has a number of number ones here. Zombie Proof, Zombie Zoo Museum. What's better than 2 zombies in one title, I ask. Over in, for some others, we've got Behemoth Comics with Vietnam Horror. That got a little bit of buzz from the first time of something a little bit different. Black Mask has Alice in Leatherland, which has been a lot of people on Twitter have been kind of promoting, but it's don't take that badly. It seems like a different kind of book than some of the other pieces. Boom, Luna number 3 is an interesting book. If you've been checking that out, that's there. Orcs number 3 as well. And then Dark Horse has the conclusion to Crimson Flower. I know a couple people were into that. And Lady Baltimore Rich Queens number 2. In the future, by the way, I'll try. I've got to figure out how to do this, but I'll split these titles up a little bit by genre, so you can kind of say, hey, if you're into horror, here's a horror stuff coming out. If you're into Western, here's a Western stuff coming out. Try and give a little bit of sense of that. Over in Dynamite, I know what you're thinking. If you've been to the Friday streams, we'll get there. Just be patient. Post Americana, sorry, from Image is coming out. I've really enjoyed that. There's the interview with Steve Skrosh up on my channel. I really recommend you check that out. This is an insane book, and one of the most, I think, ludicrous concepts that he talked about during that interview. It looks like it's playing out by the cover here, but this is just a crazy book. If you like kind of Mad Max meets just a little bit of satire, This is not despite it having Americana in the title, this is not a political title at all. God, I would hope not. Seven to Eternity, number 17, comes out. That's a nice book. That's wrapping up from Rick Remender. Third issue of Radiant Black, which has lost a bit of steam from the first issue, which came in as a big buzz, shared superhero universe, and then Todd McFarlane's I'm going to make a Spawn shared superhero universe kind of took a little bit of the wind out of that sails. Haha, number 4. Hard to believe we're at number 4 already. That's been a really solid series as well. Very much in the vein of Ice Cream Man. Jonathan Hickman's Decorum, the book he's still writing and putting out more or less on time. There it is. As I mentioned, Dynamite has a number of things here, and Mad Cave has got Pantomime. And I think we're less than a month away from Joe Corallo's Beck Star, so got to check that out. Godzilla is being put out here from IDW. What am I saying? Sorry, little brain fart there. IDW's got, as I mentioned, a lot of books here, a number of G.I. Joe, My Little Ponies things. Still that speculation about Magic the Gathering and the Hasbro license for that property going to Boom, what that's going to mean for some of the other things here. I think IDW remains in very shaky condition, just in general. But some nice titles from Heavy Metal Magazine. They're putting out some books more than, again, usual. It's Alive has some things here. Nice to see Transformers still kind of chugging along. Usagi Yojimbo. Some good, nice titles. Over with Marvel, second issue Alien, we're getting that Women of Marvel book that have been promoted and then kind of abandoned. This is a problem with a lot of these anthologies. They promote them, they get some headlines, and then they move on to the next anthology. They're promoting the Asian anthology that they're doing. Meanwhile, Women of Marvel hadn't come out yet, so now it's coming out, but all the hype was, from like 3 months ago. So, great, you get it into the stores, but you also got to get into customers' hands. That's the other half of the equation. Anyway, Avengers is a King in Black, because of course it is. Why not? King in Black's over, so let's get some more King in Black titles out there. Captain Marvel's learning the martial arts, and she's now sleeping with Doctor Strange. That's what she's up to there. And then we get the first issue of Way of X. So actually, it's a 3 X-Men week of Sword, Way of X, and X-Force. Meanwhile, over in Oni, we got Jonah and the Impossible Monsters. That's a fun little book if you picked up the first issue. Over 6 or 7, it's a marathon to get through this stuff. There's a couple things here. Scout, Unicorn had some good interest to it. Red 5, White Lily. I know some people are really enjoying that book. It's a little bit of a different story there. My Dog Jojo number 1 has some really neat people attached to it who are really kind of being earnest about that book. Vault, you have Dark Interlude, you have I Walk with Monsters, getting a resolicitation there. That's why there's 2 Dark Interludes, Witchblood and Ascendia from Wake Comics. And then finally, we wrap it up with some DC stuff. DC has Batman Catwoman number 5 of 12. That title has lost a lot of its momentum. It was like there's a lot of people very excited about that. I mean, the people who did enjoy Tom's King run wanted to see it concluded. It's weird that we're on issue 5 now, and the buzz is definitely a lot quieter, but we are getting our second issue of Justice League, or issue number 60, but our second issue of the Brian Michael Bendis run, which is looking like we're getting a Black Adam Superman obligatory fight. And the other book there is probably Catwoman and Nightwing and the Flash coming in there to kind of complete the other Infinite Destinies material. And then Xenoscope is bringing 4 number 1 books, The Bell, King of the Serpents, 2 Grimm books, and a Wonderland book. So there you have it, 114 books in total, a ludicrous amount of comics to come out in 1 week. But hopefully it helps you make some decisions. And yes, we do this on Friday. What's the Perv Comics of the Week? Well, the Dynamite gallery provides a number of different pieces there for us, including a book called Syrup there. That's fun. That's an OGN that's coming out. So there you go, folks. You missed it on Friday, but I'll come through for you. Here's the pervy stuff that's coming out next week on the cover. So it's still out there. I know the a lot of people are like, what happened to this kind of stuff in comics? We don't see it anymore. No, it's there. It's mostly Dynamite, but it's all there. You can absolutely get your hands on that. No pun intended. Anyway, let me know in the comments below what you might pick up, what you're reading. We will be back with live streams again the following week. So hope everybody has a good time out there, and thanks for listening.